What is going on YouTube? Old Shaman here, and today for my 200 subscriber special I'm going to be doing a manga collection update for 2017. Now, honestly, the last manga collection update that I did back in November of 2016, I have accumulated over 200 more volumes since the last time. That is crazy. 200 more volumes since my last update. So I'm up to 500 now. This is going to be a 500 update. So it's going to be quite a lot of manga. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to be spending a little bit more time talking about each individual series and, also, maybe give a few pointers as to why you guys should pick them up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so starting with our first shelf over here, we have Bleach Volumes 1 all the way down to Volume 68. Bleach is definitely one of my all-time favorite series that I own currently. I really do enjoy and love experiencing Bleach and its epicness. Bleach is just a solid shonen series for sure. And then right over here we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 is what I'd like to call, or the very first Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. We have volumes 1 through 3 and then also a volume 6. Definitely an underrated series. If you guys want to find out what Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like before the card game, I definitely recommend that you guys check that out. And then over here we have High School of the Dead, the full color omnibuses, volumes 1 through 2. These are definitely some of Yen Press's best releases, and if you guys are a hardcore High School of the Dead fan, I highly recommend that you guys go and check that out. One thing I forgot to bring up was the fact that I own Durarara Volumes 1 and then Durarara Volume 2 above. Overall, it's a pretty mediocre series. I really did not like it at all. I know a lot of people love this series for some reason. First two volumes are confusing and make absolutely no sense, just like the anime, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, I got those two volumes. Don't really like the series, but I have that. Alrighty, and then up here we have Berserk. We have volumes 1 all the way down to volume 37. Now, Berserk is definitely one of those series that are just, it's infamous. Everyone knows what Berserk is, and everyone knows how legendary the series is. Personally, I have to say it's probably one of my all-time favorite seinens out there. I really do enjoy the series, definitely in my top 10 for sure. And of course, I'm only missing volumes 32 and 33. It sucks, but as you can see here, they are all first prints, and I want to make sure that I complete my entire Berserk collection, and I want the spines to be perfect, so I want to get volumes 32 and 33 in the old first prints. If anyone can find those, please let me know. I really do want to collect and finish Berserk, even though I've read up to volume 37, and so on and so forth. Next over here we have is Future Diary volumes 1 through 2. That again is a Tokyo Pop series, and I have to say I really do enjoy Future Diary. Unfortunately, basically the entire series is out of print. Viz has the current license for it, but unfortunately they have not done anything with it. Unlike Dead Man Wonderland, Future Diary is at a stalemate and is not finished or complete, which stinks, but what are you going to do? And then right here we have is Battle Royale volumes 2 through 3, another really awesome seinen series. This is a survival game type of manga. It is a battle seinen, and it is probably one of the best battle seinens I have ever read in my life. It really is one of the greatest all-time series of all time, and it definitely puts a lot of really great seinens. It gives them a run for their money. Let's just put it that way. Battle Royale is awesome, but again, Tokyo Pop series out of print and really hard to find. So if you guys manage to find that, I highly recommend you pick that up. And then we have the awesome 3-in-1s for Neon Genesis Evangelion. This again is one of the best. This is definitely in my top 3, and that is the Neon Genesis Evangelion manga. We have volumes 1 all the way up to 14. That is complete, and that is definitely a series I would say is recommended if you are trying to complete your manga collection. Amazing story, fantastic visuals, art is freaking amazing, and then also the story, I would say, for the manga is a lot more conclusive than the anime, although I enjoy both of them. I love both the anime and, of course, the really awesome manga as well. And then over here we have sort of a weird pickup, and that is the Neon Genesis Evangelion, the Shinji Ikari Raising Project. That is by Dark Horse, and it's a like 14, I think it's like a 18, or it's either a 14 or 18 volume series. And it's essentially just a spin-off of Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's not the greatest thing I've ever read, but it's funny, and it's, I don't know, it has a lot of fan service in it, but it's definitely a sort of kind of like a gag or a satire on the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. It'd be like whether or not, what would Neon Genesis Evangelion be like if there were no mechs? So if that's a concept you're interested in, then I guess I could see someone buying it, but I don't think I'm going to get any more. It was enjoyable for what it was, but I don't think it's worth investing any more in. And then what we have here is probably another criminally underrated series that I own in my collection, and that is Freezing Volumes 1 through 12. This is, again, one of the best seinens I've ever read. It's a battle seinen, and honestly it focuses a lot. There's like a really huge amount of main characters in this series, and honestly they are probably some of the better main characters I've seen in seinen. Again, this isn't really, it's not a manga, it's a manhwa, so it's a Korean manga artist, essentially, and overall, I have to say, it's actually pretty enjoyable, and definitely is one of my favorite series of all time. Highly recommend that you guys check out Freezing, really solid stuff. And then over here, we have some of Asano's works. We have Solanin and then A Girl on the Shore. I've done a review on A Girl on the Shore, so you guys already know what I have to say about that. I just like to say that Girl on the Shore is definitely criminally underrated. People give it way too much flack for what it is, but personally, I enjoyed it. That's all I'm going to say about Girl on the Shore. Now, Solanin is, again, a masterpiece, personally. I know a lot of people either love or hate it because of the story or the concepts that are shown within Solanin. But personally, I would have to say that it is definitely one of my favorites. And then just to finish off the shelf over here, we have Trinity 7, and it's garbage. Don't buy it. The manga is horrible. Buy the anime instead. Can't recommend this. I'm definitely not buying anymore. $13 a volume for only 100 pages. Hey, I say that is a good deal. Alrighty, and coming up here on the top shelf, we have is Nisekoi. We have volumes 1 through 14. Nisekoi is definitely one of my favorite series so far for the year of 2017. I haven't finished Nisekoi, and mainly because I want to prepare myself for the ending. I'm not a big romance fan, and I think because of that, I've been wanting to wait and see whether or not I'll enjoy the ending. So I'm basically milking the series right now for what it's worth, hoping that I get a solid ending, and hoping for the best. But anyways, Nisekoi Volumes 1 through 14, really do enjoy that series. And then continuing with the Asano greatness, we have Goodnight Pun Pun Volumes 1 through 4. Amazing series. I've been blown away so far with the amount of really awesome and really cool characters that have been featured in this series. It's a series that deals with a lot of really dark themes like suicide, depression, basically losing loved ones. It's essentially a really dark series, but it's a really excellent and well-crafted series by Asano. Cannot recommend that enough. Really, really awesome stuff. Coming in clutch with that JoJo greatness, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood Part 1, Volumes 1 through 3, that is complete. And then we have Battle Tendency, or Part 2, which is Volumes 1 through 4, that is also complete. And then of Stardust Crusaders, or Part 3, we have Volumes 1 through 2 of the JoJoniums. And these are definitely some of Viz's best releases. The hardcovers are absolutely fantastic, and they look very, very nice. I've done a few pickup videos, and I've shown off a few of the covers, and they are absolutely fantastic and really, really well done. Honestly, cannot recommend that you guys invest in these because they are amazing. Next is we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Volumes 1 through 16. That is all of Stardust Crusaders in the single volumes. I will probably not be getting rid of these just because they are starting to go out of print and they're starting to become a little bit more rare in favor of the JoJonium volumes. But it's only understandable, and honestly, some of the artwork on the covers are really, really awesome. So for that, I think I'm going to be just, continuing to collect those. And then over here we have is Gantz Volumes 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 in the new prints. I really hate Dark Horse for doing these new prints. They look like shit, and honestly, they look horrible. Gantz volumes 1 through 5, 6, 8, and then 11 through 15, and then 17, 18, and 19. That is basically all I own of Gantz because the series is completely out of print. You cannot finish any of the arcs. Each arc has either 2, 3, 4 plus volumes out of print, and overall, if you want to read it online, you can get through it, but other than that, the series is basically impossible to get. If you feel like investing $50 plus into a manga volume, then get Gantz. The Gantz series in itself is absolutely fantastic. I love the first 2 arcs of Gantz. I've read through the entire series, but honestly, it's not worth investing $50 for an individual volume. Definitely ridiculous that they charge that much for something in used condition. And then over here we have is the Full Metal Alchemist box set. This is definitely one of the few times that I've invested in a box set, and this is probably one of the nicest looking box sets. This comes with volumes 1 through 27. I would show the rest, but that would require me to actually remove it from where it is and open it, and that would be a pain. So we're not going to do that, but just got to take my word on it. This box set is absolutely fantastic. And then to cap off our shelf up here, we have is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist volumes 1 through 11. I've actually gotten more of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist since the last time. You guys probably would have not expected me to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist all over again. But honestly, this is definitely an underrated series for sure. It literally is probably one of the best, really, of shonen. This is definitely one of probably the most nostalgic series I've ever read. Volumes 1 through 11 of Duelist are solid. If you guys are wanting a solid adaptation of the anime, if not better, I'd recommend that you guys check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. It's obviously, you know, it's definitely underrated, but for sure it is a really solid shonen, I would have to say. Alrighty, and then of course we have that DBZ shrine from the previous video. Nothing much has changed over here. It's been the same thing as it has been for the last couple of months. We have the Dragon Ball Z Vizbigs volumes 1 through 9, and these covers are really, really nice, or the spines, I guess you could say. Personally, I don't have an issue with the Vizbigs. I think they're nice releases, and overall, quality-wise, they are pretty nice. So if you're not a fan of those, of course you can get the single volumes or the new 3-in-1s that Viz is currently doing, or you can get the really nice all-in-color DBZ volumes, which are really, really awesome as well. So over here we have a Shaman King. We have volumes 1 all the way up to volume 24, and that is all I own of the current Shaman King. Unfortunately, I've been trying to complete this series. I don't know what's been holding me back. I want to finish it, but I've been sort of busy with other series. I've read the rest of it online. I really do love Shaman King. It's not what you would say it's not what you would call the best series of all time. In fact, this series has a lot of issues, and it has a lot of continuity issues that, you know, just can't be addressed within the series. But with like any series, I personally don't think that there is a perfect manga out there. Shaman King is one of the best examples of that. But between the characters, the setting, as well as the story, I would have to say Shaman King definitely ranks high for me on top of my all-time favorite series of all time. But it's definitely not what you would say is the #1 best manga of all time. For sure, most definitely. But overall, I'd recommend that if you guys are wanting to check out a really cool shonen manga, look no further than Shaman King. And there's also a tournament arc, which is fantastic. Hey, it's a shonen with a tournament arc. You gotta check it out. And then over here we have Fairy Tail volumes 1 all the way up to volume 17 and then volume 19. Let's see. What is good about Fairy Tail? Well, I could say that volumes 1 through 10 are fairly enjoyable, but I would have to say that the rest of the manga is worth just either getting rid of or not investing in any further. I really do hate Fairy Tail for what it is. It's just like, it started off with a lot of potential and a lot of really awesome characters were introduced, but the gist of it is this: after volumes 10, and there's like no sign of any character development whatsoever in both the main protagonist as well as the other characters, that definitely says something. So Fairy Tail to me is just a piece of shit. I don't know why I own this series. I need to get rid of it. It's just really not enjoyable. If you're new to manga, I can say that volumes 1 through 10 maybe I could see you guys maybe investing in and getting some enjoyment out of. But overall, I don't really care for the series. That's just personally my opinion. But overall, I would have to say, you know, if you guys are wanting to check a series out, try it. But other than that, can't really give too much props for this series. Just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. We have Dragon Ball Volumes 1, we are missing 5, so up to 4, and then Volume 6 all the way up to 16. That is the majority of Dragon Ball, and I have read the rest of the series, and honestly, Dragon Ball gets a lot of flack from the DBZ community for some reason. Mainly because a lot of the people have not actually read Dragon Ball and have experienced it fully so that they can give an opinion on it. Personally, I really enjoy Dragon Ball. It's definitely has the highlight moments. It focuses a lot more on the martial art aspect than it does on really the really epic kind of like energy blast that Dragon Ball Z has and focuses with. But overall, I would have to say this is personally one of my favorite mangas of all time. It's not the best, again, but it's definitely a really good contender for being one of the best mangas of all time. Dragon Ball Z volumes 1 through 4, and then volumes 10 through 12. These are just single volumes that I own because I used to collect the single volumes before I eventually invested in the BizBigs. These are really cool. Again, it kind of continues the picture that Dragon Ball is continuing. But again, like with these spines, they do not match up entirely, which is rather disappointing. But what are you going to do? Anyways, that is basically what I own of the single volumes of Dragon Ball. Alrighty, and once again, coming in clutch, we have the Pokemon Adventures box sets. These are honestly some of the better moments in the Pokemon series, personally. I would have to say I enjoy the manga a lot more than I do the anime, especially right now. These are the old first prints. These are when Viz Kids was a thing. And you know, it's a kids manga. That's basically, it's for all ages. But I have to say, there are a few dark moments in Pokemon Adventures. Like, I believe in one of the red or blue chapters, I think right around here, there was like a moment where like an Arbok gets cut in half, which is pretty fucking cruel, if I have to say. I didn't really know that was something that happened in the manga, and I was pretty surprised that they did something like that. And it's a manga for kids, like, I mean, come on. So I thought that was a pretty dark moment, but overall, I have to say the Pokemon Adventures manga, if you love the games, you will probably enjoy the manga. So if that's something you're wanting to check out, by all means, go ahead and check it out. And I'm just going to go ahead and breeze through the minor volumes here, and that is Parasite volumes 1 through 5. Again, that is a really cool series. I really do enjoy Parasite. Pretty solid overall. I have to complete it. Unfortunately, I got my spines mismatched as well. I was buying it when Del Rey was still around, and then Kodasha sort of picked up where Del Rey left off. And, it's okay. But Parasite overall is probably one of the best and solid seinens out there. Really enjoyable and really awesome. Next is The Gray Man, volumes 2 through 5. For those of you who were wondering what happened to my volume 1, I actually sold it off. I'm kind of in the process of selling the series off, but I've been having people saying that the series is decent and gets good after volume 5, so I don't know if I'm going to continue to maybe check out possibly volume 6 or 7. It's definitely a possibility, but I don't know if I want to rebuy volume 1 again. If I could find it for super cheap, then maybe, but other than that, I can't really say. Batum volumes 1 through 8. That again is also a survival game manga, and it definitely has a lot of similar themes to Battle Royale. It does a great job of introducing characters as well as giving backstories to those characters, which is a positive. For that, I give Batum a lot of credit. In fact, the first 1 through 8 volumes are absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, after the first arc, I can't really speak for the series because it gets a little boring at that point, but other than that, I'd have to say it's pretty solid overall. Zombie Powder, volumes 1 through 4. This was the series that Taita Kubo worked on before Bleach, and overall I would have to say it's definitely an average manga, but it had a lot of potential to be something really awesome. Other than that, I can't really say too much about it. Ralgrad, volumes 1, same artist as the dude who did Death Note. Honestly, this is just an okay sort of seinen battle series. It's okay. It has a lot of nudity and has a lot of ecchi themes in it. Other than that, it's pretty solid, but can't really say the rest for the rest of the series. Bakuman, volumes 1. Again, same artist as the guy who did Death Note. Personally, a lot of people love Bakuman for the theme and as well as the concepts that are, featured in it. I have to say, I would have to agree that the theme of the manga is solid. But other than that, the main characters are pretty uninteresting. I don't really care for the love affair that goes on, and overall just really isn't my cup of tea. But others might disagree, and that's just my opinion on what I feel Bakuman is. But I know a lot of people enjoy it, so if you guys want to see an honest review about it, definitely recommend you guys check out some of the other channels on YouTube that feature that kind of stuff. And then we have volumes 1 through 5 of Full Metal Alchemist. These are just some of the individual volumes that I own, and I'm keeping the volumes 1 through 3 because what Viz, I guess, started to do was kind of make these holographic covers that are really, really cool. I don't know why they didn't continue to do that. I would have definitely invested in the single volumes if that were the case, but unfortunately they did not. So once I was in the process of collecting, and then when I saw the box set online super cheap, I was like, all right, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just buy the box set. So now I'm down a few dollars because I own volumes 1 through 5. I probably will get rid of these, but I don't know who I'll sell them to. But anyways, Full Metal Alchemist volumes 1 through 5. And now we have Naruto volumes 1 through 17, and then volumes 18 through 27. That makes up the entirety of part 1. And then volumes 28 through 40, and then 70, 71, and the final volume at 72. You guys all know what I feel about Naruto. I love all the big three personally. One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, I love and enjoy. Unfortunately with Naruto is that it suffers from a lot of inconsistencies in the plot, and it definitely drags on for I feel longer than it needs to. The final arc was a tad bit underwhelming and overall just not really that great. I guess it's hard to really copy the Pain arc because the Pain arc was just absolutely phenomenal, minus a few moments, which I won't go into spoiler territory, but mainly with Pain. Anyways, Naruto, it's okay, it's good. I don't know if I'll finish collecting it. Like I said, I might buy the 3rd box set because I'll be basically finished with the series. But I've collected this much so far, so you know what, why not finish it? So that's Naruto. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have One Piece volumes 1 all the way down to 21. I know some of the spines are inconsistent. I have a few first prints for One Piece, and that is the reason why they have the shiny foil covers, which you guys are seeing here. Back when they did the second prints, they were trying to basically combine the new spines so that they could say East Blue and not have these shiny foil sides. Unfortunately, I really did enjoy the foil covers, but Viz, again, they can't satisfy everybody, so that's volumes 1 through 21, and then continuing up here, we have 22 and 23, along with 24 through 25, 26, all the way down to 34, and then 35, stopping at 44, and then volume 45, 50, and then the rest of Saboti with 51 through 53. Again, One Piece is one of those series that definitely has one of the best, I would have to say, character designs as well as unique abilities that are featured throughout One Piece. The Devil Fruits as well as the concept of pirates is just something that always interests me and is a really fantastic concept overall. Really enjoy One Piece. Solid stuff overall. Alrighty guys, so once again, thank you for watching this video. I definitely am happy that I reached such a tremendous and awesome milestone for 200 subscribers. That is absolutely fantastic and really is a cool thing to say. I could not have done it without you guys, and overall, I have to say this has been a tremendous ride. But anyways, the video has gone on long enough. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that you guys check out some of my other stuff. Like me on Twitter, subscribe, do what you gotta do. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and keep reading manga.